Okay, first of all, I want to, sorry. People thought you were going on sooner, but we had scheduled it already. So that's on me. That's my fault. So anyway, hold on a minute.
You could have done that before we went live.
No, dude.
It tastes better live? What?
Come on. Yeah, it does. Okay. I've been on LinkedIn since it started. How long you been on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you on
Yeah, of
LinkedIn?
course. I've been on it for a long time. I just don't remember how long it's been.
How do you know how many connections you have?
I have no idea. Nor do I care. Like,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
your gig, dude. This one, this
All
this
right,
topic,
that's fine.
it's all you because I don't care about LinkedIn one bit.
But I'll tell you right now, it's the most useless website right now.
Mhm.
I never go on it. I may share a video once a month on it. That's it, if I remember. But I'm
Right.
never on it. I don't talk to people on it. I think it's hilarious that everybody out of work is on it, but nobody who's working is on it.
That's what I found. I found that the only time I ever looked at LinkedIn is when I was out of work. Um, I don't think, um, I don't think that, um, yeah, I just don't think that it's useful. There's 2 things. There's 2 types of people. There are the corporate people who are like, they live and breathe corporate. They're on it, right? They're the
Right.
ones who are,
They're
HR.
networking. They're using it for their
They're
own benefit.
exactly, and you have that. You have recruiters, right, in that area, and then you have people who are desperate out of work. And I
Mhm.
think that
I
that's
agree.
that's mostly if I watched a thing because we were gonna talk about it. I watched a thing on YouTube today on it, and, just happened to come up in my feed, so I was sort of in the front of my brain, so I went, "Oh, let me take a look
Right,
at that."
right.
And so I watched it, and after watching it, I kinda came to the conclusion that it's mostly a website for recruiters. That's it. It's for hiring managers, recruiters. It's
Right.
anybody looking for people, and that's all it is. And they actually compare it with Indeed, right? And I think that's all it's good for.
Okay.
And
That's
they
why
make a ton of money, by the way. So
I
if
don't know
you
how.
did you title you didn't you oh how to fix LinkedIn. So you're saying fix LinkedIn. So I want to ask the question.
Yeah.
When you say how to fix something, I want to know one thing. What is
Yeah.
the problem? And I love this is one of my favorite questions to ask people. What is the problem you're trying to solve?
I'm trying to get honestly, I hope LinkedIn sees this video. I'm trying to get them to bring activities to the website that help me in my business.
So, what problem do you have that LinkedIn isn't solving and no one else is, but LinkedIn is well positioned or best positioned to solve that problem?
Okay. Um there are probably 5 websites I could go to that I want LinkedIn to do all. Okay? I want LinkedIn to be multifaceted. I don't know if that's the word,
Yeah.
but
Mm,
multifunctional.
okay.
Okay? So, the first thing I would do because everybody wants money, to keep the website going. I would work out a deal like with Staples or with Office Depot, where all your paper, all your pencils, all your paper, everything, all your office supplies can be bought at a discount through LinkedIn and get their stuff from Staples.
Okay.
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 So my goal is to make LinkedIn a one stop shop for business people, B2B. Okay. So put that to the side. That's what there's
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. You
okay.
want LinkedIn to be Staples.
No, I want them to be more than Staples. One area is to buy products, is to
Okay.
buy
Okay.
supplies.
Okay. So but why is that a problem? You have Staples. You're what?
Right. But
So
you
why not
would
just go to Staples?
because you get a bigger discount. through LinkedIn because they would have everybody going to LinkedIn through LinkedIn to get a discount. So that it's a numbers game. So you would
Well,
funnel
why not
all
go to
the office.
Amazon? Amazon's huge. Why not go there?
Then you can go there. You can go anywhere. I'm
Well,
not
why?
worried
Yeah, but
about
why do you want LinkedIn to like? It's not retail. It's not. It's not even. That's not even in its ballpark.
none of the things I'm suggesting are on LinkedIn right now. Okay.
Right, but that is yeah, but that doesn't mean that it isn't tangential, right? It's not even close. It's like in another
But
universe.
LinkedIn
Retail
should be the
couldn't be
leader in
further.
business, right?
Sorry, say again?
LinkedIn should be the leader in business.
In
Period.
business what?
B2B, people working
Business to
together,
business.
getting things done.
Okay, so hold on. You're saying a
Okay.
lot of things. So business to business, okay. Um, you have see, I think what you're trying to do with the Staples thing, it doesn't make much sense. You're trying to say LinkedIn should do what Staples is doing or Office Depot or Amazon when there are perfectly good solutions there.
Right, but I don't wanna run the Staples to do that, run to
You don't have to
Masterclass
run, you
Factory.
just click your mouse. It's the same thing. You'd have to click your mouse within to navigate within the LinkedIn
It's
website.
just one less website I gotta go run to get my stuff done during business, okay?
Okay, I don't understand the problem you're trying to solve. What
This
problem do you
isn't
have? You have to click an
this
extra
isn't the
website?
problem.
Okay,
This
what's
isn't the
the problem?
problem.
What's
The
the
problem
problem?
is they need to bring together like, they need to bring together classes like master classes, okay, where people can learn a trade on LinkedIn. They can learn how to weld, they can learn how to work on cars. It's kinda like a YouTube, but you would pay for classes.
Right, I
You would
understand. So now
okay?
you want LinkedIn to be Amazon and Udemy
Lydia. I wanted to be Lydia.
and Udemy. Well, Lydia's
Yes,
gone, but
and Udemy.
something
More
like
like
Udemy
Udemy.
or one of those. Okay,
Right.
all
So
right,
you would go to LinkedIn to learn a trade.
okay,
You learn a trade, you get to connect with people in that trade by doing Facebook groups on LinkedIn, okay? Now, Facebook groups, I belong because I edit. I belong to a Final Cut Pro group
right.
to where I'm hanging out with people who do what
Okay,
I
so now
do.
you want it to be okay. Facebook, which is it sort
Yeah.
of is that's in its ballpark. It that's definitely in its ballpark.
Right,
It's
right,
supposed
right.
to. It was supposed to be a social network for business. That's
Yeah,
what it
but
started
they
as.
everybody's got that already. Everybody's got social network down. They don't need to solve that problem. What they need to do, I need to learn a trade. I need to network with people, start asking them questions about my trade.
Right.
What do you do to blur a picture? What do you do? Because I'm hanging out with people who do what I do. Got it? So you would have mechanics hanging out in a group.
Okay, so hold on. It sounds like what you're describing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you want a place where you can network,
Well, partially, that's one of the
but
things.
at the professional level of networking.
Yes. Like, oh, like the CTO group you belong to.
Right, but
Okay.
that's just a meetup. So
Right.
but that's
So you
very
won't
different,
have to go anywhere
very small.
but
Wait, that's
online.
very small compared to what LinkedIn would be. LinkedIn would be a much larger network, huge.
Exactly. Like,
Um,
if you did
so
a Zoom
so what
meeting,
you
we could
described as school, spelled with a K, Skool, okay?
yeah, that's
I
kinda
love.
cool.
I love it, school where it's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
It reminds me so much of, like, Little Rascals, right?
Yeah.
Um, so they have communities, where you can belong and you take classes there, and then you can, this sort of like social a social network of people who are interested in the same kinds of things you are. So they kinda
I
have that. There's a lot of
I
those
know
kind
they
of
have all these
systems.
aspects,
Right.
but if LinkedIn brought it all together, where it's a B2B world,
I
where
don't
you
know.
can
I think you're trying to scoop up too many things at once. I don't think you're focused on what the problem that LinkedIn has. I think you need to focus more on what problem you pick a problem, solve it, and move on. It can't be
right,
all things. You can't make LinkedIn everything.
right, I understand that, but
Yeah.
it's a place to do business to
So
business
here's a
too.
question. What does LinkedIn do well? Right? Like pretend you owned LinkedIn and you were the
Right,
boss and you look at you would look at LinkedIn and you say, well, what are we doing right? Because you don't want to undo that, right? You got to be careful you
The
don't
only thing they're doing right is
damage.
connections. That's it.
No, that's not true at all.
I think
That's
that's
not.
very important.
No,
Everything
but
else
that's
is
not.
crap.
No, I'm saying that's not true. That's the only thing that they're doing. I think
No,
that
it's the only thing they're doing right.
well, okay. I think if you talk to recruiters and people who post jobs there, they would find that what's going on there works for them. So
Well, yeah.
it's just
Okay.
here's my thing. Here's the thing. The what do they say? If the product is free, you're the product. Okay. So
Okay.
do you pay for LinkedIn?
No.
I don't either. Guess
Oh,
what?
you
Guess
can?
what? I
What?
don't pay either. Guess what? We're the product. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're the product. And then who is the customer? Anybody who pays for LinkedIn, right? Which are the
Right.
businesses,
Right.
right? So the businesses are winning with LinkedIn. LinkedIn does really well financially. You'd be surprised. I was.
I
I was very
I
surprised.
haven't hung out on LinkedIn for over a year.
Right, but that's you and me. That we're
I
not
went there
the
for 5 minutes and it was a mess.
right. We're not the target market. We're not the target market at all. You know when I go to LinkedIn? The only time I go to LinkedIn if somebody tries to connect with me. Okay. By the way, somebody asked how you can email me. You can look me up on LinkedIn and send me a message if you're on LinkedIn, and we
Dude,
can connect that
dude,
way.
we're not here to promote LinkedIn. We're
No,
here to
I
fix
know,
it.
but you can. That's the
Okay.
only time I go to LinkedIn, and when I'm looking at someone's resume, I want to see what they look like. Honestly,
Okay. So you
I'll
don't
go to
think they
LinkedIn.
should do classes, store for business products, webinars? There's so many business things they could do at that website.
Right, but okay. So the question is, what is their mission statement? Do you know what their mission statement is? Like,
Gotta
what's
be
the
the worst
purpose?
website on the internet. I
Yeah.
think
Look,
Pinterest is trying to beat them.
for
I
you,
think
yes.
Pinterest is fighting them for that
For
award.
you. When was the last time you got a corporate job? Thank
When I
you.
worked at
Thank you.
Sterling
You're
Winters
not it. You're not the person. Do you know
in
our brother?
2000,
Wait,
in
wait,
2000,
our brother, right? Okay, so
right.
25 years ago. But our brother, when he was out of work, he paid for it for LinkedIn Professional or something like that, right? And he's
He
very
paid for that?
yeah, to help him find work. He also
That's what I don't get. How do you spend money to find work when you're broke and not working?
well,
That's just crazy.
it's
Like,
not
I
like you
can't.
don't have any money. It's
No, but it
how
just
do you
is
buy food
stupid.
while you're out of work? It's the same thing.
Y
The thing is that he has way more connections than the two of us combined, probably on LinkedIn, but he's very corporate. Okay, we aren't the target audience. I think that's the problem. That's why we both hate it.
Okay, but I would go there for webinars. I would go there for classes. I would go there for supplies.
Right,
I would go there to talk to people who are in my industry.
right.
That's what it should be. Industry hangout. That's better, more of a better explanation.
Yeah, but okay. So let's go back to how are you using LinkedIn? Okay, I want to go back to that for a minute. Like I said, when I'm
I'm
looking
not.
at I do all the time. I want to see. So I get a resume, right? And
Right.
I get code from people, and I want to see where where else are they on the internet, right? So I'll go to LinkedIn. A lot of times they'll have their picture. I see what they look like. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the person I'm reading about, and then I want to see what they've written. So I want to see what they have said there, not aiming directly at the job. I want to see what I want to see if I can find anywhere else on the internet that they point to, any posts they've done on LinkedIn, and just try
Right.
to get an idea of who they
Who
might
they
be.
are. Right.
Right. I'll look on their GitHub to see if I can find them on GitHub. I try to get information so I can correlate because I mean,
Right. But you're
If it's
right.
John Smith, it's really hard to find John Smith just randomly on the internet,
Right.
right? If they have a
But
crazy last name, that helps a lot. I'm just trying to look for other things that they've done. I found one developer where they had a Twitch stream, and I watched a bit of their Twitch stream just to hear them talk. Who are they? How do they
Wait,
think?
so you watch through LinkedIn on their Twitch stream?
No, I'm just saying I do searches. I do searches to
Right,
find
right.
people
Okay.
on the internet to see what other things that they're doing and what they're saying, because they're not going to present 100% of themselves to the job. They're going
Oh,
to
no,
present
hell no. Yeah.
right, right, and I want to know more about that
It's
person.
social media. Put your best foot forward, right?
Right. I want to exactly. I want to know what other things. So LinkedIn is a good start. Okay. Most of the time it's repetitive, but then people will talk about that person and say, "Hey, this person, is great." Blah 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 blah, and recommendations. Nobody talks shit about you on LinkedIn. No one's going to be like, "Oh, this guy's terrible," and it's on your page, right? You're
Right.
not going to get. It's not like Yelp. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get a bunch of trolls.
No, and you're not going to get any bad reviews on there. No one's going to do that. So you're only going to get the good reviews. What I want to know is what kind of person are you? I know people are going to hate this, but how old are you? Right? Because if you're telling me you're a senior developer and you look like you're 12, you're not a senior developer. Sorry. Right? You can't call yourself a senior developer and be like 25 years old or 26 years old or whatever. It's just not, that doesn't work. Right?
Right.
If I see someone and they're really old, right? I'm like, and I'm going to meet these people and see them anyway, right? I'm going to see them anyway. I'm like,
Right.
when's this guy going to retire? I'm a little concerned about that. And
Right.
I've hired people who are older people in my age,
You
right?
don't want to train all the way to retirement.
Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to bring someone in who's totally set in their ways and is gonna be difficult to learn new skills and things like that. So I tend to want to know, like, am I talking to someone who's still got some runway left in their career, or are they just kind of like ready
Right.
to land?
Right.
I want to know, depending on the job, right? I need someone who's going to be there a while. So all of these things are factors.
Right.
They're all factors in looking and trying to see if this person's going to be a good fit. Look, if you're ready to retire, our company is not the spot. It just
Right.
isn't, right? There's better companies if you're looking to, just kind of finish your last few years. If you're just starting out, that's another thing. Like, well, we don't have much more room for junior people anymore in our company.
Right.
So you can go onto the sites and they're not going to represent that in their resume. But LinkedIn, you can figure some of that out. Like I said, you can see what they look like. Are they 20 or are they 80?
So you don't like the idea of like master classes for whether it's
No,
acting, car
I just
repair,
don't see LinkedIn.
programming.
Nope.
You don't see webinars.
No,
You
I
don't
don't see.
see
No, I
purchasing
don't.
product. I mean, I see a
I don't
bunch.
see any of that.
If you're gonna do it in business, you want to hang out with people like creators, content creators,
Well,
programmers, whoever you deal with. It's a place for us to
but
hang out.
yes, but there are already people. There are already people who are like that, right? Who already do that exact thing, right? They already do those things.
Yeah, but all
Yeah,
those things are
somebody
like
said I'm an
5 different
ageist.
websites.
Wait. Someone says I'm an ageist. Yeah, 100%. I've been an ageist when I was 20, and I'm now 62, and I'm still an ageist. And you know why? Because old people get stuck in their ways. Old people don't keep fighting. Old people give up. And old people are the reason that I'm an ageist. So yeah, I am an ageist. Absolutely.
Well, now, first of all, if you're honest, every single person that interviews for a job is an ageist.
What do you
Period.
mean an ageist?
What
What do you mean is an ageist?
is an are you ageist?
No, I'm totally ageist. I want to know how old the person is
Right.
because it does matter.
And I'm saying
Energy
everybody who
level,
does
the
hiring
abil
like you.
right, absolutely. Everyone is. They just won't admit it.
Everybody.
No, they won't admit it. Everyone is. You see
No,
an
they're a
old
bunch of
person walk
liars.
in the door and you're like, "Oh god." You already instantly, boom, you already know that guy is, set in his ways,
Right.
can't learn new things. How many
And
old
he's got
people do you
purple
know?
hair.
Dude, how
There
many
you
old
go.
people do you know on the computer? They're like, "Oh, I'm so old. I can't learn." Right? So old people have made me an ageist since I was 20, actually 19 when I started in the business. I used to look at the 30-year-olds and think that guy is set in his ways. He's a dinosaur. I was 19 years old. That guy's old, set in his ways, and he's a dinosaur, doesn't want to learn any new things. I was 19 looking at a 30-year-old, right? saying that. And I said to myself, that will never be me. And it never
Right. Well,
has. But I'll
honestly,
tell you,
people
I've
don't
worked with all
evolve.
people
People
of
don't
all
change.
ages. I've worked with people of all ages. The majority of old people are exactly how I've described them. You have to be able to go in, find the old guy who isn't like that, right? Can you find that guy, pluck that guy out? You want that guy.
Right. And if you don't believe, if you believe people hire and they don't judge you by your age, you're on crack.
Yeah,
They judge you by your hair color,
totally.
your
Totally.
weight,
Yep.
everything.
Everything. You're being judged by all those things, but no one will admit it because,
Nope.
it's unethical and blah, blah,
And
blah.
it's
No, it happens.
illegal.
There's a reason for stereotypes. Those stereotypes exist because people tend to fall into a bell curve. And the deal is, okay, somebody wrote that older people have more wisdom. 100%. You just want to find the balance. Somebody who's still
There's a fine line of perfect hiring.
right. You want to find the person who's got it, who's old enough to have wisdom, but then still young enough in their heart and have the energy and want to learn new and improve themselves. That's what I'm looking for. But once you get to a certain age, that shit goes out the window. Like people just give up. And it doesn't.
Wait, I thought we were talking about LinkedIn.
I know. Sorry. I saw that. I'm like, no.
No,
I saw that in the chat.
Cool. Go ahead. Stop watching the fucking.
I know. I knew once I told you
live chat and talk to me.
I knew once I told you I looked in the chat, you would say that. I knew 100%. Oh, here comes Jackie's going, stop looking at the chat.
I moved the chat over a little bit so that I could talk to you, and you start bitching at me. And what do? You start talking to the chat.
I know. I should have turned it off. I know. I'm sorry. But
it's okay.
But going back to LinkedIn. Okay, so go back to LinkedIn. When you look at LinkedIn, I see it as just for hiring. And I think it's focused itself just on that aspect.
Well,
and I think it's made for other. It's not made for you. It's not made for me. And all of those things, no one does everything that you're trying to throw at. You want a one-stop shop bit for business. And I don't think that have you ever seen a Swiss Army knife?
Yeah.
Right. Do you ever see the big ones where like this thick and they got 1,000 things in them?
Yep.
Right. Those, unless you only can take one thing on a desert island, right? Where you're going to be on some like show on TV where you have to survive. I'm not bringing that thing. I'm not buying that thing. I'm not using that thing.
Survivor 52.
Right? Every one of those tools, someone else makes a better version of. Okay?
Right.
Everyone. So what you're saying is you want LinkedIn to be the mediocre version of all these tools that you use. I don't think you do. You do.
For me, I crave hanging out with people who do exactly what I do for a living.
Okay, so wait. Okay, stop. Okay, so now where's that on the internet? Just that. Don't try to turn LinkedIn. You're never going to.
I got to go to a Facebook group, and then you got Nazis that are admins, and you get kicked out of that
Nazis are
group.
admins everywhere. Reddit, Facebook. I mean, they're everywhere.
I know, but I would make it like webinars. I could go there for meetings with my company.
Well, there's meetups. So hold on. There's meetups. You could look up meetups.
Of course, you can run around the internet to conduct business.
Right, but the thing is you want to find the tool that's the best tool for the job. So my thing is go look at meetup.com. Find people who are doing what you're doing and see if you can't meet with them.
But if I finally get them, but I only got to tell them about one place, LinkedIn. Join on LinkedIn, and then we're
I'm
done.
telling you, LinkedIn, you'll never. So you keep trying to turn Vimeo into YouTube, and you keep trying to turn LinkedIn into everything else. Like, it's not. It doesn't make sense, dude. It doesn't make sense.
By the way, Apple, you need to buy Vimeo and go up against YouTube.
No. Why? They're not going to do it. You can't.
Because they have the advertisement.
You can't beat YouTube right now. You're not going to be able to beat YouTube. You're just too big. Everyone's there. Right? They have to step on their dick. Okay? That's the only way.
But trust me when I tell you, a lot of content creators would leave YouTube and go to something else viable. They're hoping.
Do you think it's going to be any different? Do you see people? No. Wait, hold on. Let's take another thing in the music industry. Do you see people, once Apple Music became a thing, did you see people in droves leaving Spotify? No, you didn't. You saw everyone stay on Spotify because everyone's already there. Once you build a network,
Good
the
point.
inertia to and
That's
the
why
amount of
everybody's
energy
still
it
on
takes to break
everybody
down.
hates
Well,
Facebook.
let me finish talking, dude. The amount of energy it takes to
Okay,
break
mom.
that inertia, right, is huge. That's why everyone's on Facebook and everyone fucking hates Facebook, right? And that's why everyone's on YouTube and it's creators, and a lot of them hate YouTube, right? What are you going to do? What are you going
I
to
don't
do? Where are
know.
you going to go? Start your own YouTube with blackjack and hookers? It's not going to happen.
Where did that come from?
Futurama.
Oh, sorry, I don't watch Futurama. That's from Chris Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't think, I mean, I know I can go to 15 different websites, but it gets pretty tiring to run, to learn on YouTube, to run over, to talk about it on Facebook to your friends about I finally found out the answer on YouTube, to go over, go to state, I mean, to run from
Okay,
website to
so
website.
let's okay, got it. So let me tell you why I like AI so much, okay? And it's not for all the reasons that everyone's hyping it, because it's all hyped to death, okay? The reason AI is great is it's doing all the Googling for me, okay? I'm pretty much a Google master at this point. I've been doing it since 1997. Okay, when it first came out, I bailed from Lycos, Alta Vista. I mean, you name all those crappy
AOL.com.
God, all the shitty search engines,
Search
and I was
engine.
all over Google, and I've watched it rise and I've watched it fall. And
Where is it right now?
it's dead now to me.
Okay.
Okay, totally dead to me. I want to find out anything, I chat GPT it. Okay. Why? I pay for chat GPT. Okay. I also use Perplexity, Claude, and Grok and Midjourney. Those are the AIs that I use regularly.
So
So
who's the best out of all of them?
they all suck and they're all great. No, they are. Like I'll go to ChatGPT. I start there first, and I say, "Oh, I'm looking for the solution to a problem." Blah blah blah, and it spits out an answer. Ugh. And then I say, "No, that's not right." And it goes,
Right.
"Oh, well, I'm sorry, I meant this." And no, that's not right either. And then I'm like, forget it. I go to Claude, and it does a great job. Then I go to
Right.
Claude first next time, and it just shits the bed. And I'm Jesus. I go back to Claude to ChatGPT. So they all are good and bad at different things. Okay.
They're all horrible at images except
Yeah, of
Midjourney.
course. But that's why I like
Midjourney's pretty good.
Midjourney.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I what I'd like to do is I like to try, like if I get a good answer, I'm done. But if I don't get a good answer, then I'll go to the other ones. Oh, Perplexity's good for like a search. Like it's the best kind of, like if you imagine Google
Perplexity.
Perplexity, yeah.
Does it
Perplexity is
cost
like
money?
Google. What?
Does it cost money?
No.
Okay.
Perplexity is like if Google had a good AI other than their stupid Gemini. Their AI is terrible. Their AI is almost as bad as Apple, and that's saying a lot.
No, dude, Apple,
I know. Apple's
it's
the
the
worst.
worst.
Right, Apple's the worst, and
Wait,
then
when
there's
your AI calls up another AI and says, "Hey, ChatGPT, I don't know this answer because I'm a freaking moron."
right. And then Microsoft doesn't really have an AI. They have Copilot for coding and stuff.
Oh, no. They say it's an AI.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong, but it's really tailored. Copilot's really tailored for kind of programming, right? And so they're throwing AI at just about everything, and it can be helpful. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I
Those
don't
2
need
letters confuse me.
Gemini to help me write an email. I've been writing since I was a little kid, and I can keep writing. It's like don't help me. It's sort of like Clippy. Do you remember when Clippy would come out? Oh, it
Yeah.
looks like you're trying to create a new paragraph or add the. Oh, shut up, Clippy. Go away. Everyone hates you. Right? So it's just
Yeah.
the new Clippy.
It's
So
like what was that? Jingle All the Way. Nobody likes what was his
that's
name?
right. Bowser.
Bowser Boomer or something. I
Nobody
don't know.
likes you, Bowser, or whatever his name was. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat him up. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm jumping around. I still think we're so far from doing good AI. Period. I think we've settled for crappy AI, and people are okay with that. As long as I got
No,
a
I don't wait. I don't think I don't think that's true. I don't think we've settled. People are still trying to move the technology forward. We're building so they're trying to move the technology forward toward an end that the beginning can never support. So that's the problem. So what you
right.
really need to do is look at what large language models can actually do well, and really gear that technology towards that end. I think it's like everything else. You remember when the
Right.
internet started, they put pet food on the internet, right? Pets.com was a big deal. And what happens is
Yeah.
you throw everything in the kitchen sink at the new technology, and most of it's crap, just like it was back in the early days of the internet. And the
Yep.
same thing with AI. It'll filter out, and the cream will rise to the top, and everybody else will die off.
I just
But
want
right
to
now we're in the
answer
beginning.
a question real simple,
Yeah.
real quick. You can tell Apple Intelligence to automatically use ChatGPT in the settings. That's all. Somebody was saying, does it always ask for permission?
Wait a minute. You were looking at the chat? Is that what you're telling
Accidentally,
me?
accidentally, it
Oh,
bumped into my
you
face.
mean your good eye?
Yeah, exactly. The eye that stays open.
The one that's furthest from the chat?
Dude, shut up. You're making my eye close.
Uh, all right.
Anyway, um, how do we get on AI? Oh
I don't
man,
know.
AI is such a hot topic. Those words get used loosely. I've been on somebody, oh, we got AI. No, you don't. That's not AI.
Yeah.
Just because you're randomly picking something, that's not AI.
Yeah.
Go look it up.
Right.
Okay. Or how about the three-legged man? It prints out a
What?
picture of misspelled words and a three-legged man.
Oh, right. That.
Uh, AI is the
Look, if
worst
you
at
go,
images.
here's the thing. If you understand the algorithm for how they generate imagery, you'll understand why all the mistakes are made. I'm amazed that it does as well as it does, to be honest.
Really.
Right.
I've gotten so many bad pictures from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even see that pot handle coming out of her butt. You know,
Right.
it was
Exactly.
like, where did that come from? That don't belong
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Okay, so you don't like the idea of doing master classes there or webinars there.
I think there are people already doing a great job in that space,
Right.
and you're just not aware of it because I don't think the I don't think they're doing the kind of marketing that would hit you. You might not be their demographic. Maybe you're too old, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't see because we're
Hey,
old.
I'm the baby in the family,
Yeah, I know. We're
grandpa.
still old. But that's it.
Anyway,
That
yeah,
happens, right? I mean, as you age, the marketing is geared towards the younger people. That started in the 60s where most of the marketing was geared toward teenagers, right? So, and that a teen, what is it? I don't know, the range, I don't really know what it is, mid-teens to mid-20s or to the 30 to 30 or something. That
mhm,
range in there is like that the whole market has been trained that is the sweet spot in the market, right?
right.
Well, it is and it isn't.
It isn't because
It,
our church always talks about the next generation. Oh,
yeah.
we gotta take care of our children, the next generation, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Really? How about you get the next generation to donate money? Because you're asking me to tithe money, and yet you're using my money for the next generation. So
Yeah.
let's spread the love evenly, okay?
Well, here the thing is that what you have to understand that the baby boomers had all the money, right? And they were the ones that they were marketing to when they were kids, but they moved up in age, and the marketing stayed down here in the same
Uh,
window. They didn't follow them as they were aging,
right,
as that group was aging. And I think that was a mistake. But
right,
here, there's that end, okay. But then there's another end. When you market to the people when they're young,
oh
you
my
get a
god.
life.
This is a personal problem, my microphone's going limp, I'm sorry.
Clearly, you get a lifetime customer, and
Right.
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you. Um, as a,
Go ahead, I'll fix it while I'm listening to you, go
all
ahead.
right, you'll get a lifetime customer that way. So I think that there's benefits to marketing to all groups, to all age groups.
Right,
But we won't see the new stuff. And we won't see hey, I'm trying to learn something new stuff. Why? Going back to my ageism thing, right? Um, old people aren't out there most old people, okay, aren't
right.
out there trying to learn some new skill. Like once you're 40, people stop learning. They
Right,
just don't
and people stop hiring
even at
you once
30.
you're 50. We've proven that. We've talked to people at age 50, if you ain't got something you're doing that's yours, they ain't gonna hire you. They're
Oh,
not
yeah.
hiring
Yeah,
over
it's
50
really, really hard to get hired after 50. Yep.
unless you're like a
But there are
programmer,
reasons for all that.
okay?
There are reasons for all that. There are huge reasons for all that. Okay, let's talk about hiring, okay, for a minute, because that goes right to LinkedIn. Let's go back to LinkedIn for a minute, okay?
Okay?
One of the things that I always thought that bothered me in school is when I would take a test and I would get a bad grade on a test. And I'm like, wait, I, I know the subject. Like I did the homework. I understand the subject. Yet these stupid questions that the teacher asked is supposed to elicit how well I understand the subject, right? But they're
Right,
dumb questions, right? If I could just sit with the teacher for 5 minutes and talk about the subject, she could see that I have a really good understanding of the subject matter, and then I would get a much better grade. I kind of feel the same thing for looking for a job. Okay, I have to answer some questions on a job site. You know, what
right,
are your skills, or what are your this, or what are your that? Like I can put down, oh, I can program in this language, and a million other people can say the same thing, but we're vastly different from one another, right?
right.
And it depends on what you're looking for. Like I'm really good at programming, right? Okay, so let's say I'm really good at programming, but I don't want to do the grunt work that your company needs me to do because I want to do more creative and more challenging things.
Wait,
Well,
what is the grunt work? Because some people don't program. What is grunt
grunt
work
work
in
might be
programming?
like maintenance, maintaining software. I
Okay,
want to write new software. I want to architect new things. I want to solve new problems. Okay, that's the type of person I am. Right. So you don't always want the best or the most
right,
experienced. Sometimes you just want someone who's willing to do the grunt work and will do it gladly. There are
right,
people like that, and so I think that you cannot represent yourself well at all initially without having some kind of video where you can just talk about yourself. I would love that, to watch a
oh, wait a
short
minute. You
video.
mean a video resume website?
Yeah, dude, I said that idea 10 years
We
ago.
talked about that years ago.
I know.
I remember that.
I've been talking about that for that long. Like,
We're
if you think about it, you could say, you could just have like make a like with the questions, they could ask questions and you can make a video answering the questions, right?
right, right,
And so you could say, "Oh, like why do I enjoy programming?" Oh, that might be a question. And I would be like, "Well, okay. Programming is just another way of solving problems, and I love solving problems. I see problems in the world, and I want to solve them. I see them everywhere." So that would be my answer. Your answer might be completely different. And you
right.
go, why do I like programming? I just like to sit down and type a lot of code, right? And different people are gonna have different answers for that particular question, and then you can see how do they articulate. Uh, c- can you can you understand them? Are they able to take a question and answer it properly? Blah blah
Right,
blah. All of those things, and I think that you could surmise so much more about the person
right.
when they're not. I don't know how people feel. I don't know if in this day and age, especially, if people would feel that nervous. Because when I brought that idea up to people, they're like, "Well, not everybody knows how to record themselves," and I'm
Right, right.
like, what year is this? Like, how do you not know how to record yourself at this point?
And by the way, if you don't know how to record yourself today, I don't wanna hire you,
Right.
you
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah, I get it.
Who's
So,
this
hold on.
Jesse? Who's
What?
Jesse?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, we should block that guy.
Yeah, I know. Hold on one second. There we go.
Is he blocked?
Yeah, Jesse's blocked now.
Thank you. All
Yeah,
right.
sorry.
Um, so so anyway, I think that a resume with a video would be cool,
Right.
or you submit a video based on a bunch of questions. That would be really cool. And I would love LinkedIn is the perfect place to do that. That would be really cool on
You
LinkedIn.
know, that is right. So the main video on the screen would be your resume,
Hmm.
and then you could video response to the questions down below. You
Or,
know, that
or no, no, or to a job. Let's say
yeah,
you want someone to put the
this is
to
good stuff, dude.
right? Answer a bunch of questions for you. So you post a job and you have questions, and then you can you can post your video response. Do you remember when YouTube had that? You could respond in video to a video. They used to have that in the early days of YouTube. It was great.
Which website?
YouTube.
Oh, I remember YouTube. You could message each other.
No, dude. You could
I remember
leave a
that.
video comment.
Yes, I remember that.
I love that.
I do.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, you would leave a video comment for the job posting. That's
Right.
what I would say.
That's a great idea, though. I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody who's watching right now is looking for work. If you are, you probably know what we're talking about, how LinkedIn's annoying to right now to look for work, even though it's a website you look for work. It's not. What are the other websites? Indeed. It's not Indeed. It's it's kind of a weak place to look for work in my mind. But once again, when you're out of work, you'll look wherever there is stuff.
I haven't been
That-
out of work for 16 years. Okay, it was the longest in my career. So over the 43 years I've been doing software engineering, I've been at 18 different companies, and I've been out of work maybe 5, 6 times tops.
Wait, you know off the top of your head how many companies?
Yeah, I counted once.
You've been to 18. What's the video game you worked on? I forgot. Was it
Creature Crunch.
Creature Crunch? That's
Yeah.
right. So if you want to see some of
That's-
Charles's work,
On YouTube, just search for Creature Crunch gameplay, and you can see
Yeah.
the game I worked on
And
in the
you got to work
mid-90s. This
with
is the mid-90s.
right?
Like when so we were doing work with Disney Interactive at the time, and when they saw what we were doing, they're like, "Oh man, you guys are like years ahead of everyone else as far as the technology was concerned."
In fact, I worked for you for a few days.
You did? I don't remember.
I
What
was
did you do?
coloring cells. Remember?
Oh my God, really?
You had some great programs.
Why?
color-
Why? Wait. Go back to why you were doing that. Why did you work for us?
Maybe between jobs. I don't know.
Oh man, I don't even
I can't
remember that.
remember.
I don't remember that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Boy, was that boring, dude. Oh
Oh
man,
God, yeah. I tried to
hated that.
change the software so that my goal with the newer software that I was writing was that you could just you could pick a color and you could paint the shirt of the character, and then you could hit the space bar and it would bring up the next image, the next drawing. And
Right.
you just go shirt, 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 just keep space bar.
And it keeps repeating. Yep.
Right. And you just paint, and then you could go back to the top of the scene and then
Right.
pick another color, pants, pants, pants. And you
That's
would just,
right. It was ink and paint something. I can't
yeah, it was
remember.
digital ink and paint. We did.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was
And I
all
got
the early days of that.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
all
that's-
a 2D hand-drawn cell.
And then
animation.
you left and went to Classics Entertainment, right?
Yeah, 5 other people, and I started Classics Entertainment in the
That's cool.
90s. Early
And
90s, I
that's
can't
when you
remember.
worked with Martin Short and Eugene Levy.
Well, that was the game. The game was those
Classics.
guys. Those guys
Wasn't it?
worked on. They did the voices for
Got it.
the main characters. They were amazing.
Okay,
They're like
so now
great.
that we've talked about LinkedIn and you've shot down all my great ideas,
and gave you a better one.
I think we should trash LinkedIn, and not verbally, but
Right.
just get rid of it. That I'm probably
It's not for
never-
you. It's not for
Yeah.
you. It's not for me. It's just not.
I know.
It's like saying, "Oh, I want to get rid of Pinterest because I never go there." Like, no, just let it be,
I
dude.
used to love Pinterest.
What happened? It just got taken over by women, man. Men can't keep up. We
Yeah.
just can't keep up.
The men would go on there and you see dresses and you're like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, I'm gone. But I mean, you know, people don't even know you can put a video up on Pinterest. You can
Never-
pin a
never-
video.
Oh, you can pin a video. Okay.
Yeah. So you
I-
could be searching for, let's say, a recipe for cheesecake,
Right.
and my video would come up.
Okay.
Okay. LinkedIn also. I can share my cooking videos on LinkedIn.
Right. Hey, all right. So
Not
enough
sure
about,
why.
enough about LinkedIn. I have an idea.
What?
At the end of our videos, let's go through stuff on the in the chat now,
Okay.
and just pick something to talk about that, like maybe we missed.
Except for Jesse, he's in the boys' club now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone.
You pick. Go ahead and pick.
Oh, well, it's always like this dude here needs to go too. Let me see. Oh, yep. So Michael Caine remembers the video responses on YouTube. So we're not crazy.
No, no, I'm not making that up.
Let's see.
I liked them too. I thought they were cool.
I'm not sure what Skidmark's saying. I was laid off this month. Okay. Now I
Oh,
know.
that sucks.
Had to cancel our plans to adopt a dog. Got it. Okay. When you lose your job, you pull the belt tight. Yeah, you review everything you subscribe to. You review everything that you pay money for, and you don't adopt that dog, and that's sad. I'm so sorry. But you know what? There'll be a time you'll bounce back.
Yeah, yeah.
Charles Manny game that Martin Short and Eugene Levy voiced. Yes, they were the characters in that game.
Yeah, it was in the 90s,
Did you work?
mid-90s.
Did you work with them?
Not directly. I did
Okay.
not directly get to work with them, but I remember thinking, "My God, these guys are so much more talented than you realize." Because I could listen to all the takes that they were doing, and
Right.
we were picking the different takes, like which
Did
one.
you write the script? The scripting? Was there a script?
I was involved in some of the jokes. We all sat around and came up with all the jokes for the game, and so
Right.
yeah, there's a ton of different people came up with different things, and it was like a comedy writers room where you sit
Right.
around, and it was kind of cool. It was one of the funnest things I ever did.
Making the movie, you wrote the movie.
Movie?
The
What are you
movie
talking?
you did.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were talking about Creature Crunch,
No, but
not
I'm
the
just tooting
movie.
your horn because
Oh,
I love the movie.
yeah, thanks.
I love the I think that's if somebody said, "Hey, what's your brother's high point?" That's one of them. One of the highest.
Uh,
You went from beginning to end. You wrote a movie, you hired people to hold the light, microphone, everything. You were fully involved from beginning to end.
Well, I didn't do it by myself, for God's sake. I mean,
Oh, no, no.
it was a bunch of us, you, me, Greg, Deroshi, Glenn, Scott Lacey, and,
A lot of great
but
people.
ton of other people whose names I can't think of off the top of my head. These are just people in my group, but no one makes a movie by themselves. Maybe you can today with AI, but
I
nobody.
I think we did what, 72 people were involved?
It was a
Something
lot.
like that,
It was a
roughly,
lot. Yeah,
to make this movie.
yeah.
To and can you give the title so they can look it up if they wanna watch it?
Yeah, it's on, Amazon Prime. It's, called Solitary. Now there's a couple of movies titled that, or at least one other movie titled that. So it's the one about the woman who can't leave her house, and
She's got agoraphobia.
and her husband disappears, so she's trying to figure out what happened to him without being able to leave her house.
Is it free or is it is it a couple
If
dollars?
you have no, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free, so you can watch
Oh,
it.
very cool, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
But
see,
anyway, so let's go back to the chat.
yeah, I know, I'm looking.
There's a few
We need to
assholes in
get
the chat,
creature
but we'll skip
yeah,
those.
there's always assholes in the
Yeah,
chat, dude.
exactly.
Been doing it for 17 years. They never
They
you know
all
how
come
you can
out, like, all the assholes have nothing better to do.
you know how you can spot a troll?
No.
They open their mouth.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
it.
Okay.
Troll let's see here. I just wanted to know their opinion about AI replacing junior and now mid-level. Okay. Okay, you just lit a fuse. Y
What? Say it.
y
Read it.
Phil wants to know about AI replacing programmers.
Oh, yeah, that could be a whole episode. So let me just quickly answer that, okay?
Go ahead.
So, um, it's a tool. It's useful, when you're stuck and you're trying to solve a very small problem, but it is so far from being able to do full-blown systems. Now, you can go on YouTube right now and find, people talking about how AI wrote their whole program for them, right? Mostly those are fairly known frameworks where anybody could write a program in almost no time, get something to work. But if you're building something that's that's complex, is going to be enterprise level, anything of any complexity, forget it. Forget it. It's not even close to being able to do that. Even Microsoft isn't trying with Copilot isn't isn't going, oh, just click this button and just writes all the code. No, it's while you're coding. If you get stuck, like, how do I do this? How do I do this one thing in this language? I'll go on the AI and go, how do you do this in, in this? And I'm using this library and blah, blah, blah. And it'll go, oh, you do this. And you're looking at the code. You're like, yeah, that's not right. But I get it. All right. That helps me enough. It's not right. And then you can, from that, write the code. It's
a step stool.
never, ever going to replace programmers the way it is now with LLMs which are large language models, will never ever replace programmers. There might be AI, a different technology, that will replace programmers, but there will never ever be an LLM that does. Never.
Okay. Now you've tried aren't they called functions? Little programs called functions, like a little loop or generated.
You're saying it can AI write a function?
Yeah, aren't they called functions?
Yes, they're called functions.
Okay. Can AI write functions?
Oh, absolutely. It can write a function for you. Yeah.
Okay. So
gets it right sometimes. It gets it right sometimes. But realize, what did it do? It went on the internet and it got from Stack Overflow answers. It got from Googling other websites, and it put it all together, and it's just going to spit out what it read. It has no way to know that answer is correct or works or doesn't work. Sometimes, like, I'll ask for PureScript. I'll be like, how do you do this in PureScript, right? To see if there's an easy way of doing something. And a lot of times it'll mix up two languages, Haskell and PureScript. I'm like, it's writing half of it in Haskell, it's writing the other half in PureScript. I'm like, what is it doing? I'm like, and I'll even say like, no, that doesn't exist in PureScript. And it'll be, oh, you're so right. And then you just sit there in a loop. Are you sure? And I'll say things like, are you sure about this one point you made? And it'll go, now that I think about it, well, it doesn't really say that, but it goes, now that you mentioned it, good thing you brought that up. And then it'll give you another answer. It doesn't really go, oh no, I remember, you're right. It doesn't.
Phil said thank you, by the way.
What's that?
Phil, you're totally welcome for responding to
this
question.
Yeah.
What language you write in right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, PureScript.
Oh,
well, I write in a lot of languages, but mostly PureScript. Very little JavaScript, as little as I can.
Is that your favorite right now? What's your
PureScript is my far by favorite of 43 years of doing this. PureScript is the best language, like the best for me, my choice.
Right.
Because I'm looking for a pure functional language, statically typed, and I have two pretty good choices that I can put in production, and that's Haskell and PureScript. Right. PureScript can work on the front end and the back end. Haskell pretty much only works on the back end, and it's an older language. So the guys who made PureScript are all Haskell guys, and all the things they loved about Haskell, they took and stole and improved upon even. And when they created PureScript,
became PureScript.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
What else?
A lot of other questions. There's some, some people's thoughts, but no questions. We'll give it another moment. Let's see here. So literally, so you've made, just to talk about your history, because a lot of people don't know you or haven't followed you for 17 years. You've made a movie, you made a video game, you have, I know something you did before anybody did. You did the music sampler.
Music sampler.
Okay. There was a machine that Charles programmed that you would go in and you could touch on the screen. You could select what song you wanted to listen to way before. Was it before the internet? I know.
Hell yeah. Dude, yeah. No, wait. I worked on an audio card before PCs had audio cards. So I was like 23, 24 years old. And they hand me this wire wrapped card and they say, here, finish the firmware for this. And so I'm writing firmware for an audio card, and I was debugging my code with an oscilloscope, literally, because that's all I had.
Wait, I don't know what an oscilloscope is.
Okay. An oscilloscope.
I know what a microscope is.
Right. You've seen them. They got those round screens and the squiggly lines, and you have
the kaleidoscopes.
No, what? No. No. Anyway, an oscilloscope. Look it up. Right. But the thing is then we wanted to sell that card, that audio card, which no one had at the time, to I think it was Sony Interactive was going to come and look at our card, right? So we were all excited, ooh, Sony's going to come. So I thought, well, we should put a demo together because since I worked on it. So I worked with one of the people there at the company, and I said, look, here's what I want to do. I want to record like 30 seconds because the thing could only hold 30 seconds of audio. I didn't design the card. It was a stupid design if you ask me, but it could only hold 30 seconds of audio on the memory on the card. And then, so I thought, and we had touch screens. This is 1980. What? Geez. Let's see. I was married in 86. So I was 20. Yeah. So it was about 86, 87. Okay.
I think I just graduated.
I just got married. So, so I said, I want to be able to touch the screen on all the songs and listen to a piece of the song. So we had the screen and it had the picture of the album cover, and then you could touch the screen and it would play the music, and then it would go back to the main menu. That was it. That was the whole thing. Right. So we were super happy. I mean, it was a small company. Everyone's around me. Everyone's
the more
around
you explain, the older you sound.
Right. And everyone's around me. And I'm like, look, everyone, look, this is what we're going to show Sony Interactive. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is great. They're going to buy so many of our cards, right? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this thing and everyone's like talking around me. And I'm not hearing what they're saying. And I'm like, I go like this, exactly this, dude. I'm like, you know what? I said to everyone, fuck Sony. I go, I don't give a fuck if they buy one of our cards. I go, we should take this to Tower Records. I go, do you know how many times I want to go into, I go into Tower Records and I don't know what's on the album and I don't want to buy the whole album for one song. But if I know there's at least 3 good songs on that album, I'll buy it. And this would let me listen to the album before
I bet you somebody in the chat room has used your machine. Put the headphones on and listen to samples of music.
Yeah, so we had 2 headphones and it was a kiosk and it was called The Music Sampler. And we were in 21 record stores right before the stock market crashed in 1987. When the stock market crashed in 87, that was the end of our business.
No 87. No.
Right. So
I didn't even know it crashed.
Right. So you could listen to it and then they had a whole display right next to it. And you could, if you liked it, you could pick the CD out of the bin and buy it at that point. So yeah,
okay,
that was
this is around cassette tape time, No,
CDs were fairly new.
They were out?
See, dude, I just said you could pick a CD. What part? CD. They had whole display over here.
I don't know. You had shitty music on that machine, so I never bought any.
We had good music, dude. We had good music on that. So many.
Okay. So to wrap up our topic of fixing LinkedIn, obviously you don't agree because other people have made a better version of the wheel, basically.
It's the Swiss. What your solution was trying to turn it into a Swiss Army knife, and I'm not a fan of Swiss Army knives. There's always somebody who can outperform the Swiss Army knife for every tool in its arsenal.
But I'd love for everybody to chime in what you would do to LinkedIn to make it better. Maybe it's not what I suggested, but I feel like everybody's on LinkedIn and nobody uses it. It's the weirdest thing. It's the only website.
But you don't. Okay, so you got to look up the statistics because I saw it in that video this morning. It's insane how many people are on LinkedIn every week.
Really?
It's insane. The engagement, it's insane.
Am I like in the closet about this?
Totally. I'm trying to tell you, we're not the demographic. We're not corporate types.
That's so weird.
We're not. It's like talking about Pinterest. I have no. That's why I said this is your gig because I don't know what I'm talking about if I'm talking about Pinterest. I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about LinkedIn. I know very little about LinkedIn, so I'm not going to say much because I just don't know.
I don't know, but every time I go there, I got all these notifications, all this communication, all this. I'm like,
okay, let me just suggest. Here's how you fix LinkedIn. Don't go there again. There. Yeah. That fixes it for you. Now I've just fixed it for you. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Now it's worth millions.
That you're off.
I just think I agree with you. Many, many people are there. I know many people are there because I see the activity and I see all the names, and you could feel a website have business, but I don't know what it is. I can't figure out for the life of me. I'm sure. Oh, trust me, I'm sure recruiters rape that website.
Okay, so here's what we need to do. Change the title of this video to "Two guys talk about LinkedIn and know nothing about it."
Stop it. Oh no, we're gonna say goodbye. I've already been on for an hour, and I
All right.
apologize.
All right.
But so we try. We don't always hit the mark. Charles does more than I do, but we try to bring something like last week, how to fix credit cards from being hacked. That was really good. You may want to go back and watch that. But something we desire is to help. We have this in our family, maybe it's in yours too. We have this blessing and curse. Everything you look at is wrong,
It's a
and
curse.
you know how to
It's a
fix it.
curse.
Yeah. Literally, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, Walmart's doing something wrong. Best Buy has products that are faulty. They can be so much better. They can do other things. So we're trying to bring that to you. We're trying to talk to you about solutions. That's it. I remember you used that word.
If you try, here's the thing. We don't always do this, but we want to do this all the time, but we fail.
Right.
Is if we complain about something, to have a solution. Don't just complain about the thing. It's easy to complain. Anyone can complain.
It's
But
called
can you
talk radio.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, people make whole careers of complaining and having zero solutions.
Right.
So if you're going to complain, solve the problem. Have a solution. Great. I'm all ears. You don't like it? What's better? Right. That's what I want to know. So
Right.
we
So
try to
if
do
you don't like the post office, whatever, you bring a solution at the end. You
Right.
talk about how it could be better, how it could fix itself. Because if we don't talk about these things, they won't get better. They'll stay just the way they are. All right. So I appreciate your time. I really do when you
All right.
hang out with me.
Yeah, it's fun.
Everybody in the chat room, I love you. I will bring him back next week. We'll have something new
We
and a
haven't
new
figured out yet.
solution. Yeah, we may miss the mark, but we will have a solution.
We'll swing the bat.
Yeah, it may not be a good solution, but it'll be a solution. No,
Right.
but anyway, I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.
Bye.